Afternoon, members. It's 1:35 p.m. And next on the agenda would be the Department of Commerce. Uh, is there anyone present today? Yes. Thank you, RD. Is it still Ms. Perez, right? Yes. Okay, just making sure. By any chance related to our CEO? The better.
We're only related after 4:30 weekends and holidays.
Okay. Uh, Thank you, Resident Director, for making yourself present today. We are gonna go over your budget request, and so with that, I will now yield to you for your opening remarks, if you have any. Yes.
Thank you. Have a day, Chairman Yumul, member of the House Ways and Committee. My name is Susan Perez, and I'm the resident department head for Department of Commerce, Tinian. I want to extend my gratitude for allowing me the opportunity to present the issues and concern on our department for fiscal year 2024. I am fully aware of financial challenges the CNMI we have in FY 2024. I will keep my concern and comments brief and focus on the department's most critical issues. First, although the governor budget proposal for personnel includes all 7 existing FTEs, 3 of the FTEs are budgeted at 90%, while the other 4 are budgeted at 100%. Although I understand that the only law enforcement employees are exempt for austerity measure, it is important for this committee to understand that due to the department being short of staff, all FTEs, to include myself, have been cross-trained and participate in law enforcement dealing with ABTC and weight and measure. Second, the budget does not include any operation for FY 2024. Again, given the CNMI financial condition, we are only requesting the most essential operating expenses to ensure that we can deliver essential public service. These expenses include office rental at 1,300 monthly, communication of 600 a month, fuel at 500 per month, and 600 for a month for training. Therefore, we request 3,000 per month for operation for the annual FY 2024, appropriation of 36,000 for operation. With this appropriation, we will able to train our new personnel, cross-train existing personnel, and perform the duties mandated for all our division to include ABTC, weight and measure, and statistic. Thank you again for allowing me to identify the most critical needs of my department, and I am ready to address any question or concern you may have.
Thank you, Resident Director. I will now open the floor up to the members. Uh, Vice Speaker.
Good afternoon, RD. Just a quick question regarding your office rental. Mr. Perez, it seems to like there's an issue with like office rental. I understand and it's not budgeted. Have you guys ever requested through the delegation, or can ARPA cover those expenses?
So thank you for that question, because actually we have 4 departments that have office rentals on this our municipality. And when ARPA was taken away, even though they were contractual obligations, they weren't honored anymore. So what we did was we told the departments, as much as possible, if they have personnel lapses, to use their personal lapses to cover it. If they have revolving funds, to use the revolving funds to cover it. And should they not have either of those, then they would come to the mayor's office and we'd assist in covering the rentals.
Oh, okay. And then the mayor made mention earlier about that you guys are centralizing, which is a project, upcoming project that I'm not sure where, he said somewhere close to Docomo. Is that where most of the departments are going to be moved to?
Yeah, so that's the 428 FEMA project. So when we did our FEMA public assistance projects, you mentioned the old council building, part of the DPW building, our old public market. What we did is we combined all those funds, and we're going to build the civic center that will house all of the administrative parts of the departments. So stuff like commerce, finance, labor, they'll all be up there. Departments like DLNR, DPW, their field part will still be where they're currently located, and then their administrative staff will be up at the civic center.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Vice Speaker. Leader?
Chief, the Civic Center is in play already. It's on the table for. Is that that one includes all the permitting departments? Departments of.
So what we did is we're designing the civic center as a big U, basically. So we would have the municipal departments on one side. We would have the delegation and the council in one area, and then we would have extra rooms available for the permitting agency, so they could come in CRM, BCQ, so they could come in there, so everything's under one roof. So the answer to that is yes.
Thank you, Chief. You, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Leader. Representative Sablan, then Representative Camacho.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon, RD. When you were mentioning earlier that you're requesting that the other staff, which is the statistical technician and administrative officer, to be bumped up to 100% because you had cross-trained these individuals. Did you mean that are they deputized to perform law enforcement duties?
For ABTC and weight and measure, yes. They
Yeah.
do enforce the law.
Right, but the administrative officer one and the statistical technician, are they deputized to perform
The technician, yes, under the statistic.
law enforcement duties?
Yes.
Okay. My next question, do you guys have any revolving funds under the department?
Yes, I do. I do have the 1959C, same like Saipan and Rhoda, and that is the revolving fund coming from the alcohol, tobacco, bill nut fee.
Okay, and how much is it in this revolving account right now as we speak?
I have here actually the exact amount. Oh, I have 10,651 and 56 cents to be exact as of today.
That's very exact, thank you. Are there any other than this ABTC 1959C? Is this the only revolving fund you have?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield for now.
Thank you, Rep. Sablan. Rep. Camacho.
You, Chairman. Sorry.
Thank you. Okay. Rep. Julie.
Thank you, Chair, and welcome to the budget hearing for today. My question is, for the revolving account, the expenditure authority is with the mayor, is that correct?
No.
It's with your
It's me.
department? Okay.
Yes.
And my other question is, I'm sorry, I'm just, coming again from First and Authority, I have these questions that I want to, try to understand and for clarification. So under this revolving account, is the department able to utilize the fundings to purchase a vehicle?
On this one, I didn't use it to purchase the vehicle because I'm only making $6,000 a year for collection. So maybe you're talking about the other funding.
Yes, the
Yes.
reserve, is it the
Yes.
reserve?
For
Or the
ABT.
settlement, the settlement?
Yes, for
That's
ABTC.
under the mayor's expenditure authority,
You're right,
right?
correct.
And you guys are able to purchase a vehicle with that funding?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. I yield.
Thank you, Rep. Julie. Just clarification, with regards to the corporate annual filings here in the second senator, are they filing here? So you should have an account to, with regards to the corporate
Any,
fees.
you're talking about the annual report, right?
Yes,
Yes, any annual report that they file in Tinian, we do accept the filing and we send it to Saipan for stamping it, but the fee goes to Saipan. We don't have that account here. They go to pay at finance,
Right.
and then that money goes to Saipan.
Do we have a number of registered business here?
Yes, okay. One second, sir. Okay, as of today, we have 212 unique line of business on Tinian. The reason why it was increased is because of the DOD and a lot of businesses coming from Saipan of Island to do their business on Tinian.
Okay. Yeah, so we wanna, we ask the same line of questions in the island road just to, so that we can try to separate, and that way the fees that are paid here should be used here, now that, rental and all those things are not being, because we're trying to find ways to make this allowed. So we're doing it across the board. Any other fees, banking fees, insurance fees?
So
you feel
far,
like here?
I didn't encounter any banking. I think they do like what we call the online renewal, and they do pay it here in Tinian, but they forwarded everything in
Right.
Saipan.
And
We
then-
only do like the annual report, business license clearance with the workman compensation. And since you asked that question about the annual report, maybe you panel here can help me, because maybe you guys can take a look at it. This has been an issue for quite a while, that the fee for annual report, 75% should be going to Rhoda, Tinian. I think 25% go to Tinian and Rhoda. And I didn't receive any of those fee yet. I'm sorry to be open and transparent, but you are the committee that can help us as a department to claim what money that we should get.
And yes, we're trying to get. Obviously, there's a new system, so each line of item should be addressed, especially if the fees are being paid here
Yeah.
in the island. And let me see. So you have 200. You said 200 unique. Is there any other types?
Actually, this is all the business license on Tinian, and these are together with the sole proprietor, corporation, LLC, and nonprofit.
Okay. So it's inclusive of everyone.
Yes.
Okay. Any further members? Wow, no questions. Unbelievable. Lunch must be good. With regards to commerce programs, I don't understand their SSBCI is coming around again. Are you involved with any discussions with the department?
They invite me. If I don't get invited, I just go.
Okay. So I'm not sure when that program will be rolled out. Obviously, there is some funds coming in again from the Department of Treasury. So just wanted to see if the second senatorial is involved in the discussion. And I guess that's pretty much. It's just for my notes. The rental is the one that needs to be addressed, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I guess the other expense is where when we adjust the revolving fund, then it will be used. And since you're the expenditure authority, then you should be allowed. And we did know that for both islands, Rhoda and Tinian. Okay. Any other member? Not very quick. It's gonna be fast. With that, RD, thank you. And we did know the request needed. And everyone that's listed here is currently working for the department.
Yes.
No MOUs in this department?
No, I used to have one, but
Okay,
I
so none.
converted into FTEs. Yeah.
Okay. There was a FTEs that was given to the second senatorial district on the revised budget. Is there anyone or FTE that was given to you?
That was 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, no,
Right now, no.
the unfunded one.
No.
No, okay. It's only Department of Finance, and I'm not sure who had. Yeah,
No,
okay,
not me.
okay. Thank you. Any further members before we dismiss RD Perez? Okay. No, you have to ask it now. It's now or never.
I just wanted to point out that just looking at your budget requests for personnel, that under the governor's fiscal year 2023 proposal, you guys are actually getting an increase of 71,000. So I just wanted to point that out.
Wow.
Well, just for clarification, and for those members who I think were here in the last couple budget fiscal years, the Department of Commerce actually had 2 positions funded within the administrative provisions. So all this does is take it out of the administrative provisions, put it into the NFP, and that's the reason for the increase.
Thank you. Any further? With that being none, RD, if you wanted to comment or any closing remarks before.
Yes, I just want to ask and beg all of you guys to please give me the 36,000 because for how many years I was not given a budget. And I tried my best to run my operation and my department, the way it should be so that we can serve the people. And this is my 9th year standing here. I sitting here, and I hope that 36,000 is not that much to us because that's gonna help not me, but our people and our services that we can give to the people of Tinian and of Island. Thank you.
Thank you, RD. And with that, we'll take a short recess and we'll be back with the Department of Labor. Thank you. members. And before us now, we have the Department of Labor. We have Resident Director uh, J. Jess San Nicholas. Is that correct?
Yes.
Um, and with that, Mr. San Nicholas, I will now yield to you for your opening statement.
Good afternoon, members. Good afternoon, honorable members of the House Standing Committee on Ways and Means. I would, no, the mayor's not here. My name is J. Jesse Nicolas. I am the resident department head for the CNMI Department of Labor on Tinian. I'm here to discuss with you our department's budget concerns. I only have a few items I would like to address. Before proceeding, I am keenly aware of the financial situation of the CNMI government. We hear about how we simply do not have enough money. I understand we are going through difficult times and that every government agency in the CNMI is finding its challenge to fund their agencies. However, this is not the first time I have presided over a period when our departments succumbed to severe cuts. Often we have had to do more with less. Allow me to get started straight to my concerns. Our department needs to be budgeted for at least 4 items in order to continue to provide essential public services. They are: one, office space rental. Our office, our department submitted a request for 12,000 for object code 64720 rental office. The governor's 2024 proposal was for $0. I'm confused as how we can operate with $0 for office space rental, unless of course our landlord is willing to allow our department to occupy their facility at $0 per month. I can assure you that this is not the case. We struggled to secure a new office space lease after our contract expired October 30, 2021. Number two, communications. Our department submitted a request for 1,900 for object code 64090 communications. Yet again, the governor's 2024 proposal was for $0. Office and operational supplies. Our department submitted a request for 3,000 for object code 65000 and 2,000 for object code 65010 to cover the department's office and operational supplies respectively. However, the governor's 2024 proposal was $0. Again, I am confused on how our office can operate without means to contact clients, stay in touch with the Saipan Labor Office, respond to emails, certified job vacancy announcements, transmit correspondence, etc. We may very well have to resort to using our own personal cell phones to keep the line of communications open with the clients. These are the primary items of concern I would like to bring forth. I hope you can help me understand the logic behind this. Any assistance or relief you can provide to this will be utmost appreciated. I sincerely hope you can help us continue to deliver services to the people, to the public, simply by keeping our office open and staying in contact with our clients. Lastly, we have one FTE under the governor's proposal, but it's unfunded, and that's the administrative assistants. If by any means you can return back that funding so we can use that FTE. Thank you.
Thank you, RD St. Nicholas. I'll now open the floor to the members. Vice Speaker, then Rep. Sablan, then Leader St. Nicholas.
Good afternoon, RD. Good afternoon again, Mr. Perez. See you. Can you just reiterate what exactly is that one FTE under the governor's proposal?
The administrative assistant, that's unfunded.
Okay, my question is more directed to Chief. Is it the same scenario that's taking place? Because it's showing under the department's budget request that you guys are requesting for 7 FTEs, but the governor's proposing 9, but at a $14,000 reduction, a difference. So there's more FTEs that the governor, is that an unfunded position that you mentioned?
Yes.
Artie? That's included in that? It seems that there's 2.
Yeah, that would be different. There's not another funding source identified for those. Not like the one with commerce. So those would be unfunded unfunded FTEs.
Oh, those are unfunded.
Yeah.
Find that a little bit odd, how the governor would propose an additional 2, and then it's unfunded and actually a difference of 4,000. Maybe you can get back to us on that, or you can find out what those are.
Because right now we have eight staff.
It's showing 7.
In the general funds, it's showing myself, Patrick, Wayne, Marie.
Is that in the amount of 270,647? Mr. Chairman, any more reasons? Sure, please.
The Vice Speaker is you, until we get the information. I'll now recognize Representative Sablan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon, Marty. Just a follow-up question. You mentioned earlier that the unfunded position, that one unfunded position that you're seeing before you, that is for administrative assistant.
Yes.
So you're proposing to have 2 administrative assistants because there's one already in
Yes, they have
place.
one admin officer.
That's an admin officer.
Yeah.
Okay. So with regards to your office space that you emphasize the importance since you have entered into a new contract. So your department submission was for 12,000. So I'm assuming that this rental office space is 1,000 a month?
Yes.
It
1,000 a
is?
month.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. And Are there any pending grievance cases with regards to labor here in Tinian?
Not right now.
Not
All
right now?
our cases are handled, let's say, they're all in good terms. There's,
But are there circumstances that you have at
no.
one point of time, and who mitigates these cases? Does
The
it go to?
enforcement will have to communicate with the hearing officer somehow through Skype
Okay,
or Zoom.
okay. Thank you for that clarification. And my last question is, what is the unemployment rate? You have that data?
I don't have that data, but I believe Commerce should have that data because they're doing the census.
Thank you for that. I yield for now, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Sablan. Leader Nicholas.
Ayun, Mr. Chairman.
No statement this time.
Somebody asked question.
Uh, thank you, Representative Castro.
In regards to what was just said earlier, I think unemployment rate should be important. This data every agency, especially labor, should have. Commerce, does it, but the census is not done every year. But we need to know quarterly, like who's out of a job. Food stamp office, but as government agencies, we need to continue to work together and where there might not be jobs, but if we work together, there can be opportunities to create jobs. Maybe a possible like helping people get microloans through SIDA so that they can expand their business. The more local entrepreneurs we have, the better it is. And right now, I know the process can be tedious, even for someone selling pugwa. You have to apply for a business license and all of that. We might need to look at reversing some of those. And I think maybe from the municipality standpoint, it might be easier because there's less. But the last time I was in Tinian, I heard of the bottlenecks that especially some manomkos have complained about just to sell pugwa. Pinoy manomko, pura babarias. So we don't have to make things very hard for people. So on our side, we can also help in regards to legislation to make it easier. But when times are hard, I think we really need to look at our permitting process, our regulations, our business license, and try to make it easier so that we can grow the job opportunities. We don't have to wait for an investor. There's opportunities here. A lot of times I get people from Guam asking for doni, people from Saipan wanting to buy doni in Tinian, and it's just stuff that I'm sure there's a lot of people in this room that know, but sometimes we just need a little reminders. But it is concerning that we don't know our unemployment rate, and it's not exclusive to Tinian. Saipan has the same issue, Rhoda has the same issue, but that's something that we really need to make sure, like if we know the numbers, then we know how we can improve, like the more people that have jobs, the better it is. At the same time, I think the question, for example, when it comes to food stamp, there's a lot of vouchers for food stamp that are local. Is that matching with the products? Like that design where that green food stamp is designed to stimulate the local economy for farmers, ranchers, and all of that. But we know in here that they're probably cashing in that and buying Coke Zero or something instead of the local produce that people are supposed to buy. So I really hope that we can make sure that it's a concern that we look at the unemployment rate, knowing our unemployment rate quarterly, so that we can implement things to make sure that it's zero. We don't have to wait for an investor. We can just invest from within. We just need to provide the opportunities. The money is there. We just need to stop putting a lot of barriers. I know the chairman of SIDA is on Tinian, so that's an opportunity right there. So that's Chairman, I yield. Thank you.
Thank you, Rep Castro. The floor is still open. Okay, Representative Camacho.
Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon, Nardi.
Afternoon.
Just one question. You currently have a revolving account? Or
No.
no revolving accounts? Thank you.
Thank you, Rep Castro. Camacho. Rep Vice Speaker, did you want to continue that?
Mr. Chairman, actually, it's been clarified, but I do have another question. Do you guys collaborate, obviously collaborate with the central government back in Saipan, but do you guys also try to avail to like WIA maybe to fill in the gaps?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you guys currently have any WIA employees under the department?
Right now, we're working with the Director Francis. We have 3 applied for that WIA position here. But we're waiting for a second to see what's their result and who are they gonna hire out of the 3.
So out of the 3, how many are available for you?
Only
guys?
one position.
One. Okay. And how long is that that WIA employee gonna be assigned to your
Like in a
department?
year.
A year? Okay. Is that the normal average time span? Or-
It all depends on the program, if they extend and if we can extend that individual for more than a year.
But that program also, Mr. Perez, Chief, also extends to the other departments as well, right? So I wonder, are they also taking advantage of that opportunity?
So the regular WIA program, for some reason over the years, has scaled back considerably. Now, the COVID WIA program, we availed of that quite a bit. We had 9. That was under the COVID WIA. But yeah, I mean, that is a question that the mayor wanted to bring up, is what happened to the original WIA program. But the other issue that you always have to remember with WIA program is the back end. You know, a lot of times you set it up where then they could go into the workforce after the 1 year and then the OGT. A lot of times it's 6 months. So, sometimes you have to have a position available for them to enter into the regular WIA program.
Yeah, to migrate to the local.
Correct. Well, and it's difficult to foresee that far in the future, but on the general fund, you can never foresee that far in the future. Because if you have a vacant position set aside for the WIA employee, then a lot of times you'll cut them if they're not filled, or, just trying to fund it. So those are the challenges we have with the WIA program in the past. But I'm not exactly sure why the numbers of WIA programs for the municipalities have dropped considerably.
Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you, Speaker. Any further? I just have one clarification. I understand Secretary Staffler has been implementing workforce listing. How does that coming along here in the island thing?
It's coming along fine.
Is it a sweep? Because I understand there's a lot of construction activities going on here, so I'm sure there's an influx of construction workers coming in and out of the island side and going to Tinian because the jobs here are more rampant. So how does the Department of Labor enforce now if you were to find someone that's not listed in the corporation of any company?
And what the first step is the enforcement will go out and visit any job site. Let's just say, for example, Black Micro. They'll go there and they'll give them a form to for this production of documents. Now they submit their documents to my office, and then that's when the enforcement will review all the documents that's requested. the business listings, BGR, uh, employees tax, business license. They'll review those, and if they find out that there is an individual not on the list, but they know that they're working at the job site, then we'll have them, then we'll go back to the company and inform the company that why this individual not on the list. And we do that every quarter. So you submit one, first quarter, second quarter, he's not on the list, we go back and ask what happened to this employee. They got terminated, fired, or he quit.
So what happens if there is I guess, undocumented, because we're crossing the line of different, whether it's USCIS or ICE or, what is the process after that?
If they're undocumented, we take their names down, then we try and email it, or we call the USCIS, inform them of these individuals, they don't have documents.
The island of Saipan, I know they do that, UAF, USCIS, or those border patrols will take the names down, there's really nothing they can do because they can't deport these employees. And the reason why I'm asking this is because we're trying to find ways to get these employees registered. And our main question now is if we are paying individuals that are not documented, obviously we're paying a company for the individual, so who's withholding the taxes there. And our concern is, since they're working, it's not our jurisdiction now to tell they can't work. Obviously, these guys are trying to find or make livelihood, no? And our concern now is how do we make these guys at least be registered with the Department of Finance so that we can withhold the taxes and at least it's circulating here because these people are still buying food in the island. They're still buying fuel. They're moving around. So and that's what we're trying to come out is try to find laws to get these guys registered. It's obviously if I'm undocumented. For survival, I'm gonna have to find work for food, right? And obviously, we're gonna have to try to help these people and at least get them spending their money here in the cinema. So I know that's a tough situation, but we are experiencing a lot of grants that are expiring, and obviously, construction workers are the most needed laborers right now. So that's something that we're trying to look at and address how these people will be paying taxes, or at least the company. Someone has to be holding something, whether they're documented or not, and let the department, the U.S., Border Patrol, and figure out. Because if they can't send the employees back, then we have to help them too. This is they're going to use up the hospitals and so forth. So that's something that I want to make sure because I guess here in the island there's a lot of construction activities with the militaries. I'm sure it's going on, and the thing now is how do we collect taxes from these companies that are employing these construction workers. And so that's one of my main concerns. With regards to your operations, assuming we don't have the funds, and obviously there is no revolving fund. And I understand that the Department of Labor in the CNMI has WIOA. I'm not sure if there's a staff here or is there an office for WIOA here in.
Yes, we're working on revising our contract with WIA.
Okay. And then is there an OSHA? I understand in Saipan there is an OSHA, I guess, partner, no? But it's under the Department of Labor to look at the construction, making sure that they're in compliance with safety and all that.
No, we don't have any OSHA representative down here.
The local, not? Okay. And that's pretty much it from my side. I did note obviously the here in the second senatorial district, it's rental. The first senatorial is printer cartridges. So Uh, so rental is a number one concern here. So that's something that we have to look at. Obviously, the second one would be the utilities. So that's another issue that we need to square away with OMB and how the administration plans to fund all of this. Um, and with that, any other member would like to ask our RD questions? RD, last question with regards to PUA. Is there an office here, like in Saipan?
No,
Are,
we share before back then when PO was active, we share office.
are we still addressing PUA cases here? I understand we got extended again. So is there a number of PUA? I guess three, or I'm not sure what.
No, right now we don't have. There's no PO rep here in Tinian.
So, but
but-
the cases are all cleared here in the second.
I need to get back.
Okay, you were just
But
trying to
we
get
have
a.
one of the PUA agents. We converted him to back to labor enforcement. So spoke with the secretary, and we'll have this individual help with the Tinian clients just to accept documents and
Okay,
send to Saipan.
okay.
But he doesn't have access with.
So you don't have no idea how many are still waiting or pending
No.
their
I need
forgot
to communicate with Saipan.
adjudication. I guess that's the word they use. Either none.
No.
No one comes to the Department of Labor and says, I'm following up my.
Yes, they
PUA."
have
Okay.
clients coming in. Like I said, the individual I just accepts documents.
Okay, just accepting and
Yes.
sending. Okay, thank you. Any further members? None. Uh, thank you, Resident Director San Nicolas. If I'll yield back to you if you have any closing remark. Other than that, thank you for being here and I guess requesting for additional funds. No, so thank you for that again.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank you guys for coming to Tinian.
Thank you.
Enjoy your
Short,
day.
yes, short recess. Two more? No? Um, Good afternoon, members, again, and we are back. And before us, we will have the Community and Cultural Affairs. Are they present in the? Oh, sorry, Lands and Natural Resources. I apologize. After Lands and Natural Resources, it will be DCCA. Councilman, are you the RD? I'm sorry, Deputy. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you, RD, and I understand you're on leave. I'll yield to you if you want to make a brief statement, or the deputy can continue. It's up to you guys.
Okay, we discussed everything with the deputy before I went on vacation. I'm just here to support him, and if there's any question, I'm here to also uh, answer some questions that you may have.
Thank you, RD. I'll yield to the deputy for his opening brief remarks.
Good afternoon, Chairman and members. For the record, my name is Esteban Cabar. I'm the Assistant Resident Department Head for Tinian Department of Lands and Natural Resources. Mr. Chairman, with the financial condition of the Sinamay government, our department is concerned with the personal structure as indicated in the governance fiscal year 2024 budget proposal until maybe the following year. What I don't agree is the zero funding for our operations, and it is mind-boggling. How can we maintain various public park sites for our visitors and locals alike to enjoy? How can we enforce local and federal laws protecting wildlife and marine resources? How can we consistently and adequately service our local ranchers and farmers? The Division of Agriculture indeed has the Agriculture Equipment Revolving Fund, but it is insufficient and needs funding support from the general fund. These are the basic services that our department provides to the public, and it is critical that adequate operations funding be appropriated to our department. With that said, Mr. Chairman, I am hoping I can also answer questions that may arise. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy RD. I'll yield to the members. Representative Sablan.
Thank you, Chairman, and good afternoon, RD and Deputy. My question would be under the Division of Fish and Wildlife. I can see here in your worksheet that there is two vacant positions, and these are the Conservation Officer 1. So my question would be, what are the challenges that you guys are having to fill these positions?
Thank you, Congressman. At the moment, we have announced 3 positions. There was maybe a little confusion because one position there has been indicated with the name of Rebecca Crosser. but that one is under Saipan account. That's a biologist. So three positions been announced, two officer one and one inspector one. And those have been closed, and we're just now waiting the eligibility list from OPM.
Okay, so it's in the process right now to
Yes,
fill
that's
these
correct.
vacancies. Okay, thank you for that clarification. My next question is there any revolving funds in the Department of Lands and Natural Resources?
Yes, sir.
What are
There
the name
are
of those revolving funds?
there are three revolving funds. Number one is the account number 6017, which is the agriculture equipment revolving fund. The other is account 6046, which is the fish and wildlife permits and license. And the last one is the account number 4462, which is the cattle slaughter permit.
Fish and wildlife permits.
The fish and wildlife on account 6017.
With all these three uh, revolving accounts, how much are currently in on each and every revolving account?
Okay, for the agriculture equipment revolving fund, account 6017. In the Muni system, what my staff got from finance was 576. Now, when we do it manually, I know because of the transition into Muni system, we begin calculating from fiscal year 2022 to the present, and we have a total of 5,728.
How much is in the 6046 fish and wildlife permits?
We have a total of 1,600, I mean, 1,066 and 50 cents.
And the cattle?
302 and 50 cents.
So what is the average on an annual basis, most especially with this fish and wildlife permits and agriculture? I think perhaps the two is perhaps on an annual basis, permits are also renewed on an annual basis. So what's the average on an annual basis?
The figures? About 2008.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield for now.
Thank you, Rep. Sablan. Any further? Rep. Castro, and then Leader San Nicolas.
Thank you, RD. What's the current agriculture equipment you have in inventory? Is it just like a tractor and what
Yeah,
others?
Yes, we purchased two tractor. One was is about 5 years old, and the other one is about 3 years old. We got the attachment. We got two mowers. We got a disc, a plow, and a tiller that's connected to the tractor.
And as a follow-up, how many farmers are serviced or assisted with the use of this tractor? Are they able to, get their field plowed? And like, how many of them are out there that are using the service?
Right now, mostly the most people that uses the tractor are the cattlemen. We do have maybe two or three person that or family that request are using the tractor, such as the plowing or the disc. But majority is for the renters.
So given that, um, so let's say the cucumbers are probably not local sourced. They're from Tinian, but not one of your clients.
That's very true. Actually, the actual farmers are all Chinese here. They're foreigners, because uh, they're supplying even Saipan and the market here.
Chair, are you?
Thank you, Rep. Castro. Leader San Nicolas.
Thank you, Chairman. Director, Dep, your submission for this fiscal year's number of position is 10, and the submission of the governor's proposal is 10. So out of this 10, how many employees under the division of fish and wildlife under this 10?
At the present, there's only 2 employees that are currently working on the fish and wildlife. We requested, like he said, for 3 more, and it's still in the process. It's been in the process for maybe 3 months already. We're still waiting for personnel.
The reason why I asked this question because we have the Tinian public law that has to be enforced by the Division of Fish and Wildlife, and for me, it's 2 fish and wildlife officers is kind of not enough to enforce all this public law, no? I mean, public local law, no? Wala siya man mapasa public law, Tinian local law, which the proper no division to enforce this law is the Division of Fish and Wildlife. So I think you can ask for another 2.
That's what I was discussing during the break with my deputy, that we need at least 2, even as inspectors, so they don't have to go to the academy. The inspector is not required to go through the police academy.
Thank you, Director. Mr. Chairman, I yield.
Thank you, Leader. Any further? Vice Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Going to be directed again towards Mr. Chief. It's showing up again here for under agriculture Tinian that other departments request versus what the governor's proposing for 2024, a difference of 26,000, like an increase. Is that another case like similar to is that commerce?
You're talking about the difference in the
FTEs, there's the level of FTEs is the same for both.
right.
But there's an increase of 26,000 that the governor is proposing. Is that similar or is that an ARPA?
Yeah, that would have to be the difference in the 80 hours versus 72 hours.
Okay, so that's to sustain the.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you, Vice Speaker. Any further? Just one clarification. The conservation officers, those are being filled. Or is there plans not to fill it, or under Fish and Wildlife, is there plans to fill this position, or is this position just vacant?
The vacancies?
Yes, the vacants.
No, like I said earlier, we're still waiting the eligibility list. 3 positions. Not sure if that's the one you're asking.
Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
currently being
Yeah, the
filled.
positions have been announced and closed by OPEP. 2 positions of Conservation Officer 1 and 1 position Conservation Inspector 1. We're
So-
just waiting for the eligibility list from OPM.
Okay, so it's currently done announcing It's
That's
okay.
correct.
Okay.
Yes, and once we receive the eligibility list, that's when we start uh, the hiring selection and then the eventuality of filling the position.
With regards to the agriculture, the 50,000 utilities that the department requests, is that majority water or the fee for water?
Reason for water and power.
So majority is water.
No, power.
Oh,
Because
pow-
yeah, because we have the repair shop which uses major equipment that are operating on a 220 volts.
So this is power. So the department is not like in Saipan where we I guess use over $1 million in water. So I just wanted that clarification over here. Okay. That's pretty much it. Sure. Representative Ogo.
If I may suggest or ask something, we, on the last, our budget submission, we requested for a vehicle for the Fish and Wildlife. However, it was struck out by, maybe the governor struck that out or you guys struck it out. But we requested, we never had, Fish and Wildlife never had a vehicle, a new vehicle. We always have to salvage from another department. For example, we asked DPW for a pickup truck that is not being used because it's broken. And then we bring it to our shop and we fix it and we let them use it. So vehicle is very important for Fish and Wildlife, a pickup truck. We got a boat that is supposedly under repair on Saipan. And when we do get that boat, we need a good truck to pull it out. It's a 25-footer Zodiac. So we don't have any equipment or truck to pull it out unless we use our tractor.
Thank you, Artie. Representative Ogo.
Good afternoon, Director Borja and Assistant Director Cabrera. Welcome back again. I'm just wondering, because I was just going through the budget proposal. Does your department have any surveyor?
No,
Who does the surveying here in Tinian? Is it
I guess
private?
it's all Saipan.
They come down and they survey?
Mhm.
I
Okay,
believe Councilman, the Department of Public Lands.
okay, good to know. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you, Rep. Ogo. Any further? Are you sure it's a question, it's not a statement?
Actually, just to clarify,
Oh.
Director, do you have any mechanics or a mechanic employed under the department of your natural resource?
We have one mechanic. We have one that is learning to be a mechanic. But we only have one that can do the job. However, he usually takes the day off for appointments, whether it be Guam or San Diego. So, a lot of times he'll be absent from work because of health problem. So I wish we could have one that is permanently, there when we need him.
So who's maintaining the heavy equipment or any vehicle under the Department of Natural Resources?
There's only one.
Councilman, also under the Division of Parks and Recreation, we requested also for a vehicle because since we came at the same time back in February of 2015, there was no vehicle for these parks and for this division. And Parks and Rec, as you may be aware, handles various public parks. And at the present, we have a trailer, and we really need the vehicle, either to pull trailer or to carry equipment for ground maintenance purpose.
But before my deputy, and I mean, before my deputy speaks, you were asking about the mechanic for our shop, right? Yeah, we only have one actually. The other one is just a helper. So that's it. That's all we got.
Yeah, thank you, Director, for that clarification. You, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Leader. Any further? Yeah. Are you, to you, Chairman?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was waiting for you to recognize me. I just have a question under your department, RD and Deputy. You have a division that's called Soil and Water Conservation. What is the function? I know that there's no NOP on this division. You requested dollars just to make this division open and alive. But what is the function of this division when it was fully funded?
Okay, Congressman, the still also behind this division. Back in fiscal year 2021, it was funded one FTE, and we did announce the position. What's this? Either nobody applied or they applied but nobody qualified. And ever since after 2021, we always requested at least one FTE and at least $1,000 for operations. Now, the reason for our request is it has also in part to do with NRCS, the Natural Resources Conservation Services, and which also we happen to form the what's called Tinian Soil and Water Conservation District Committee back in July of 2022.
Thank you for that clarity. You, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Sablan. Any further? Being there's none, thank you, Resident Director Borja and Assistant Director Cabrera for making yourself present. We did note the request. I understand positions can be added, but obviously the funds are not going to be there. So the department is going to have to find ways to fund the employees if you do intend. So we'll put that down as a note, as a possible addition to vacant, to add vacants, no, or positions. With regards to funding, that's, obviously it's not a guarantee. Our main priority right now is how to fund the mayor's office and their staff. So it's going to be a long shot, but that's the priority of this committee now is how to fund the mayor's staff. That's not included in the budget. So with that, I'll yield back to you for any closing remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just got one question or suggestion, if you can help us. We requested also for the Fish and Wildlife to be put back on 80 hours. And the governor had approved that letter that I sent to him. And if that can be added, some funds to be added to the Fish and Wildlife, it's it's
Yeah.
very hard. We are taking care of a gig one also. Saipan won't help us with enforcing the law on a gig one. They say it's not their jurisdiction. I don't know why. So we really need this personnel.
Thank you, RD. Any, you may.
Yes, Mr. Chairman and members, again, I want to thank you for being here to conduct this public hearing, and I earnestly pray for this committee's assistance in giving us sufficient funding for our operations. Thank you.
Thank you. And I did know one vehicle, and we're gonna try to look for those vehicles in Saipan and at least get something here. No, so it's hard to enforce something if there's no vehicle. So, with that, thank you again, RD and um, Assistant Cabrera. Thank you. We'll take a real short recess and then we'll finish up with the DCCA. Good afternoon, members. We'll go ahead and begin. We have our last department, and the members will trickle in. And before us, we have DCCA, and I'll now you to the RD.
Okay. Good afternoon, Chairman and members of this august body. I'm Bonnie Borja, the Director for the Department of Community and Cultural Affairs. With me today is Ms. Lucia Borja, the Administrative Officer for DCCA. Ms. Borja manages all the books at our office. Thank you for this opportunity to present our budget proposal. So Chairman and members, as reflected in the attached budget worksheets, our personnel computation, including fringe benefits, are calculated at the full 80 hours. Even at a 20% reduction of biweekly hours from the full 80 hours, the budget baseline established by OMB will still result in a funding shortfall, unless another funding source and a separate account is identified to fund some of the fringe benefits. DCCA strives to be innovative and conservative, but inasmuch as we continue to cut down operational costs, the continuous rise in prices of goods and services due to inflation impairs our ability to control costs. The current reduction in hours is painful for a lot of families, and since the governor's proposal for FY24 maintains the reduction in hours, the families will continue to face hardships with the high cost of living on the island. Given that DCCA is the department tasked with promoting the general welfare and safeguarding the health and well-being of residents, anything that negatively impacts their well-being and livelihood will result in an increase in the number of clients needing services. Additionally, funding requests for operations are needed to continue providing basic public services. We are mindful that due to funding shortfalls, this expectation might be far-fetched. Nonetheless, we want to submit an accurate funding request to appeal to the need for a proper and realistic budget. Funding requests for operations is at a bare minimum necessary for DCCA to deliver the most basic of services. We fully share your priorities of ensuring rigorous financial accountability, nurturing the growth of our people and community without sacrificing quality and efficient public services. Our key challenges and areas of concerns are funding for utilities. The government ARPA utilities account has allowed us to pay for our prepaid meters at HPO and Aging Center. The central government currently pays for the municipal gymnasium's utilities as well as water usage at the Aging Center. So if we are expected to pay for these added expenses, then we will need the necessary funding to do so. Furthermore, I ask that you consider including additional FTEs under SIPEN's account for NAP services on Tinian, specifically 2 eligibility workers and issuance clerks. Presently, 1 caseworker from SIPEN is assigned to handle 198 Tinian NAP clients, in addition to their workload on SIPEN with thousands of clients. At the moment, we have 10 clients that are still pending their July benefits. Today is July 10th, and that means it's been about 10 days that these 10 families have struggled to put food on their table. It is vital that we have our eligibility workers and issuance clerks to focus on Tinian clients so that we can prevent any more delays. Additionally, when the need arises, we ask for fair overtime payments for employees doing NAP-related work. And lastly, we ask for your help in getting a pending payment for our vehicle paid out. I understand that we're discussing FY 2024 budget. However, this vehicle was processed and approved, and we don't understand why it hasn't been paid out. So we ask for assistance in that. Thank you again for this opportunity. As always, your consideration and understanding is highly appreciated.
Thank you, RD, Ms. Borja. I'll now open the floor to the members. Okay. Um, just some clarifications. The utilities requests, and also is any rental involved in all of this?
Mr. Chairman, no, DCCA does not have
Any rental?
rental in our local
So
account.
just the utilities.
Yes, correct.
And is this a prepaid or this is?
We have 2 prepaid and 4 metered accounts.
With the 4 meter, the 7,000 is what you submitted. Is that the amount that's, I guess, current and accurate with your billing?
So, Mr. Chairman, that's our average for the,
Okay.
3 business units.
oh, sorry. Sorry, just 1 second, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I'm Lucia Borja. That 7,000, we have 3 business accounts. So I'm just wondering if you're referring to,
Just the submission from the department because we're doing it to all the agencies. We want to get a more accurate number. I believe the administration is proposing 1.8, approximately 1.8 million for the entire CNMI. So that's something that we're looking at right now and trying to address. So if that's the amount, then I'll just put a note here that there is 4 accounts, and we're gonna assume that it's 7,000 for the whole year. With that, I'll open now to the members for their line of questions. Any questions, members? Are you still reviewing or?
sorry, just a point of clarification. That 12,000, over 12,000 you're referring to, that's only for sports.
Okay. Oh, okay. So
Yes. And for HBO,
Aging,
we're asking for 3,000.
right.
And aging,
With aging, I did remember asking question with regards to utilities. I believe some of their federal funds covers utilities. Does that extend?
okay, I'm sorry, with the Tinian aging, we are the ones paying the account, not Saipan.
Okay. I thought it's one C in my. As Vice Speaker, all you to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, RD, Chief, Mayor. Sorry, I stepped in a little late and I missed some of your initial statement, opening statement. But I did overhear that one of your priorities is you needed FTEs for the nutrition assistance program here, right? And how many FTEs was that?
Mr. Rep Komatsu, currently there is no FTE for Tinian. We have one that was hired, but they're all under Saipan. There's only one eligibility worker.
So you do need FTEs
We,
that are
yes,
based here.
if Saipan can, fund it under their account, they keep saying they're gonna hire, and up until now, we're still burdened with the task of that.
So pretty much you have FTEs that are actually doing cross duties, additional duties, which supposedly supposed to be handled by caseworkers back in Saipan.
Issuance workers. Yes.
But may I ask, is there a real need that they have to have the bodies here? Is there a delay of some sort that is causing the need for you guys to have two here?
Yeah, Rhoda has case workers and eligibility, issuance workers. With Tinian, they just recently hired one. And we've been asking just simply because, especially me, I've been doing a lot of the lab work for going over 3 years, and I am just so overwhelmed. So finally, we had that additional person who's shadowing right now, being trained, but it just takes away from other things that I need to do. Grant writing is something I want to look into, and I just don't have the time to do that now. So, I mean, especially since every time they ask us, like, on top of monthly distribution, we have the PEBT. And then if Saipan is distributing on a Saturday, and then we ask, because our people here are start calling in and complaining, why isn't Tinian distributing on the same day as Saipan? I call Saipan and I ask for our people to be paid. They don't pay us. I mean, they don't want to pay us. So with this, I've been meaning to maybe talk to the mayor and director regarding that. Maybe an MOA, just say if we need to do that, then they should compensate us for it. Or at least have them answer to the people here, why can't they have the same distribution date as Rhoda and Saipan? We've been saving them thousands of dollars. Usually they come in monthly, 5 of them, chartered air flights, car rentals, and they have, we save them, and that's the least. And I keep asking them, when you pay out between 40 and $50,000 of overtime for Saipan, at least allocate 5,000 annually for Tinian. Not meaning we're going to abuse that. Just when the need arises, then I need my team to be compensated for, for doing all that extra work. That's all. That's all I ask.
Thank you for that explanation. Mr. Chairman, are you for now?
Thank you, Vice. Further, Representative Ujuli, and then Representative Manny. Yes, let's recognize. Let me recognize the mayor first.
Yeah.
I just want to say that, most especially during the COVID, this team consists of people that are under DYS, HPO, sports, that are multitasking to do something that is required of the federal government to provide to the public when they're giving in the millions of grants. And then here you have Tinian, who has not employee, no full-time not employee. It's amazing that not gets pushed out on Tinian. And you expect people from their department who works for admin. That's nothing to do with that. But then they come in on their day off, and if it's a holiday that they need to push out the NAT, they have to come. Even the director comes in. And I see them volunteer. And don't ask, you gotta volunteer. That cannot be the business of how we run the government. People work, people get paid. That's the bottom line. And when I've met with some of this, not personal, didn't tell anything. These guys need cars. They need staff. But I guess I'm surprised that you're telling me that they have 8 not personnel. Know that? Where's the fairness of a federal grant that is being given for the entire cinema? Our numbers, our people that are recipients of this grant are entitled for a fair service of what they deserve. I just cannot, I didn't know Rhoda had 8. And I'm nothing against Rhoda, but management has to think about their programs. When you go to a sleep and cross the entire building is filled up with not employees all year round. And I asked that this committee look into that, and let's be more sensible to the employees of her department. And if you guys could continuing the service. this is something that you cannot stop and say, this is not our job. But, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Representative, you have the floor.
Thank you. Welcome, Director Borja and the other Borja, Lucy. First of all, I need to clarify that NAP personnel because I don't think there's 8 of them. Because my cousin works there and she basically have the same sentiment as you guys, where they're also overwhelmed, So I need to clarify that information. But other than that, this is regarding the aging. How many, how do you call it, members, Manamco, at aging right now, enrolled with the aging program?
Currently, there's 40 homebound clients and 30 congregants, so 70.
And right now you have 2 cooks, right?
Correct.
Do you have a driver or a person that's doing delivery?
No person holds the title of bus driver, but we have the Title 5 that are assisting and some of the MOU employees of the mayor's office.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Julie. Is it Representative Castro? Yes. Good.
Hi, RD and Administrative Officer Borja, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll start with aging first, maybe. At the Manomco Center, the cooks are both from Tinian.
Correct.
And then is that funded by the Manomco Center in Saipan, the FTEs, or it's the municipal government?
Okay, just recently, because of the,
I mean,
what do you call it? They wanted to make sure, remember when they had the reduction of hours, they needed that cook to make sure she's coming in. So one FTE now is being carried by Saipan, and the other cook is locally under the Department of CCA Tinian.
so I imagine the food is better here. In regards to the NAP, the coupon and voucher, so your office, which is under sports and recreation, is that correct?
Correct.
But yet you're doing the application process, the reviewing process, and the distribution process?
Yeah, we screen the applications, you make sure it's complete, then it's forwarded to Saipan. We work with the caseworkers.
Okay.
But issuance, I pretty much do all the issuance. They also task me with retail and redemption duties.
So there's no enforcer here then?
They just promoted me to NAP supervisor, so I'm all over the place.
Yeah, when the secretary came in, I asked them if they can look into just mailing it out, certified mail, because there's already, we know there's fraud happening out there, so that's another option. But if you take a look at the cost of overtime and the cost of certified mail, I think it's gonna be more affordable. But yeah, I hope, colleagues, that we can take a look at this. Yeah, because you guys shouldn't be doing all of that. And that's a big volume. That's a big role to fill.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Castro. Representative Julie?
Okay, going back to the NAP personnel. So basically, there's no NAP personnel here in site, in Tinian, correct?
One was just hired.
One
She's
was just
not- yeah,
hired,
She's
okay.
now under training.
Okay.
She's a caseworker.
Okay, because Rhoda only has one.
Yeah.
And 2 under Saipan account. So maybe you guys need to reach out to your how do you say it, main office.
Numerous times, and we're still
Yeah, okay.
promises.
Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Julie. Any further? Representative Sablon? Point of clarification, okay? Rep. Nicholas?
Director, thank you, then, Lucy. State child care licensing, division gi.
Yes,
It's kind of new.
just last year, not the licensing, just the Child Care Development Fund.
Oh, this the, pronounce TLIH.
Live, there's no employee for life.
Out of the state.
It's for the low income home energy program.
Okay. Clarify. Thank you. I used to.
Thank you, Leader. Representative Sablon?
Thank you, sir. Just one question. Under your department, are there any revolving funds?
Nothing.
Nothing
Not at all, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative Sablon. Any further? Representative Camacho?
Thank you, Chairman, and good morning. Good afternoon. You guys currently have any federal grants for your agency? As far as like child licensing and the Office on Aging?
Nothing, sir, and if, I know Saipan is getting, but it's not trickling down.
So Tinian does not have any federal funds?
No, we are not.
All right.
Maybe, I know aging, Walter is very supportive of the program, and the DYS administrator. They are very supportive of their people here in the satellite offices, but for sports and
Thank you.
HPO, no.
All right, thank you. Chairman,
Thank you, Vice Speaker. Representative Camacho. Any further? I just have one last question with regards to the special fund. Maybe Chief can just to verify the amount. Did you review the special account, the special fund account?
Which account?
Special
Care?
fund under the budget. There's a special fund. I believe the special fund is basically revolving funds, and currently the second senator district has a balance of 682,000. So is that verified and available, or?
So when you take a look at that total amount, I think that's broken down into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different accounts. 2 of them are under fire, one's under police, one was under commerce that they mentioned. The biggest amount under this is actually under solid waste management. And it's still an issue that we're trying to resolve because, and like the mayor said in his testimony, right now, we don't have the expenditure authority over the solid waste funds that are allocated to Tinian, which then, of course, the reporting doesn't come to us. So the Secretary of DPW has expenditure authority, but our argument is it's hard to manage solid waste on this island, especially with the DoD activities ramping up and things changing constantly and quickly. We need to have that ability so we know our options in terms of how to manage solid waste. So if you take a look at that total amount of funds, I think 500 and some thousand is identified under solid waste management.
Is that the 4962G? Let me see. That 300,000. I'm only seeing 300,000. That large sum.
That is under.
4962G.
That's correct.
So there's roughly.
So I guess there's other ones there that all fall under that same thing. So when you put the 4962G, and then they had, like 7068E, 7193M, 7658. I just got this report, I think just last week. So even myself, I'm not sure about some of those accounts. But they put them under solid waste management, so I'm assuming they're sub-accounts within solid waste management.
We're trying to verify both, this, I'm not too sure about I know the funds is printed, but we don't know.
Right.
So I just wanted to verify with you that's currently available, and if there's any restriction. I believe we have the secretary tomorrow, so we can clarify that tomorrow. And with regards to the aging, I understand, and I don't have my second version that has the grants. I know the aging has a lot of grants, and you're stating that it's not, I guess you don't have it here in Tinian. That's correct. It's Saipan that holds the grant version.
You know what, Chair, I have to apologize. I'm looking at this wrong. So solid waste management, that actually has a balance of 0. I think the 4962G, I think that's a CDA bond interest account.
Okay.
And I think some of these other ones, and I'll have to go back and look at it, these are probably local appropriations that were transferred to the municipal treasury and identified under a sub-account.
Okay. So I just want to verify if it's actually here, or, it's just printed in paper form, so.
So we're still trying to resolve the CDA bond interest account because similarly, we get conflicting reports as to what the balance is on that account. So that's one of the issues that the leadership actually wants to meet with CETA and try and figure out, how much of that money is still available unallocated.
Right.
Some of them were allocated. We had some projects allocated. However, with YouTube, the project never got started. So those funds should still be there. We'll probably require the delegation to do a reallocation of those funds.
Okay, so just to verify.
Yeah, I apologize. That 500,000 is not under our solid waste management. That is under, I think our CETA, the 362.
I just see that Patrick's ears stimulating, so I think he's going to reappropriate that right now.
But then again, like the mayor said in his testimony, those funds are restricted to capital improvement.
Right.
Right.
And that's what we discussed earlier.
Right.
It
How to
can
get
be more
broaden the
flexible.
usage of it.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're looking at that angle too.
Okay.
So,
That would be great. If we could free up that money,
Yeah.
that helps consider.
At least a sunrise sunset provision to
Absolutely.
allow the municipality to use this fund.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any further from the members? I do note that the 2 request map workers to be funded out of SITA so that we can address the other employees doing the job of map has something to do with. I did note that, and hopefully we'll get that position here.
Chairman dispensa dulu. Tazo ka befimin sa molo?
Malika,
Okay. No. Todo sumido sa mampus no, afa frustrate to this abo. Pagmatu masok again. I'm not getting the response that I need from the central government. Mampus na diteteni sa astok torbazo. Nezi na klase wanita na mamay kutu nezi premier isti ikandit. Ani na holo ni request if I will bring up candidate, which was around 70-some thousand, finally, when I got a hold of that account, Malanguzu Pabe bring up to Office Bena current, pues Ani Guaha is Nezi Marpana utilities account. This is 2021 Nezi. Saipan has been tapping into it. Tinian didn't find out until late last year. We didn't know about that account. So we've been struggling on where and how are we gonna pay, that the penalty charges keep rising. Because finally, utungu put it in an account, and I finally got a hold of those outstanding billings. Unaholum kime, back and forth with treasurer, zani secretary of finance. Sige, kada madako gato gini, madako gato, kada brodo follow up, can we get a response, of I timonya no linya na no my reject the linya allocate cost to Tinian Mayor's office. And I asked for clarification. Co designated account in Mayor's office? How are we supposed to pay for utilities? All I ask is that give man instruct and give us guidance on where to go. There's no communication even with OMB. With Munis, before there was no problem. Instructions were there, telling us where to go, what to do, what project account is available. Pues aning sagi talo, pabinaposi talo i-CUC billings, because the penalties are really hefty. Taza balinya ni dilekta patafan man safe, but after money man safe, ni tinapapasi sa parasiga, i-penalty charges sumatulad ni interest. Finally, office niya, insagi talo, tisinya, masuspendi account. The same thing with communications. Ani guma ARPA, tiupatsa i ARPA, put no pabe jeopardize i personnel. Ani esta kumekeo hujumi para u pata exhaust i ARPA. Ezigi na dumididi uta 10% ani munahong no para kareta. We went through the procurement process. It's reflected in the report na expended para guago una posse lot yun na papasi no pues tisina na pansangonizo na extended i 40,000 yani yun na papasi. I can understand accrue na accounting method na kumuha cost unrecognized cost booking cost, but at the same time baby nagwa matching revenue pues eno fafasin iko po maapasi kareta. That's all the vehicle we have. The 16-year-old vehicle that we have finally gave out. Half time mano pa bin pick up yung footstamp. Half time mano pa bin sobi sa mommy. Tisinya kulanga pabe. Afezinane pabe stop ba i-otro empleados yan. Esti gosmakat. Esta po ako. Zazangin insamanizo na pabe nanari kareta. Pues hati pabe po pinika pi footstamp kada mes. The ifootstamp zangin porogupo, Debbie Bentagam right there. We have that constant communications sa India Region Federal. Zangin pabe tululi pelikan pabe na holo, tisinyo lingui pelikan is takikaw kahulog bad kunay. Because those are the things zangin, fafaisi finally ane gumahan sa adumididi una suhati zani munam kareta, pagpa sa nito na tipe na posse kareta, pues hafa pa bin isa. No, parewatan ni telefon, una sangizi, ani adumididi, clear with OMB, unisita still na kantidad, which is not even a lot, like 6,000, ni usually towards the end of the fiscal year, ufahan todo supply ni unisita, para dinasakan. Sa guess, makagini sa tawag ng mommy, so I try to buy it by bulk. Dangin para closing fiscal year. Lo, ani pag intact always makiko dami. Za inigi wangongo ko ipabay na set busy na sa lapi. Kosa ki pa ben fancy no steli para utusakan. Para gas, telephone, za na siya na preciso na supply. Dangin ni hafa pa ben fan manoy. Conforme na departamento pa bensiga ng fila di mayor's office kada dia befan mangogo pa como befan mangogo para hono. After my clients ni tampoco man nama si tauta ban mafufutstam the profile sindu cosinyo Xerox esti pa kopya para binahono pa turn away si sa ni para papit tasa pat mo gagano sa mau mamaisin hono. Sabi ni Hono, medyo patun, tisinya inagimin sa ni Hofafat na, timan manggagago hami, mi zon pat kwanto, ni sisidada, ni para tamasi itaw to, dapat na faktuno na servisyo itaw to. Pwede ni si manak masi. Nga, chaman ikareta, instead ni si kareta, pausa kareta mom. Langin pabe no mas enwa. Sina makpui nanalo. We went through the procurement process like that. Zama pepega report na expended. Explain to me. Often na pensangan na expended. Nito na papasip pas pau pensangan rizon na pabe nanalo. Pues angin tipo na pasip pas lalo stated on that correct report mo. Salatsi. And no, ana puputi justicia sa manamasi. COVID-19 3 meses man descansar itaw to ani masyado ni gobyerno. 2 días sa descansar to over 200 hours in na halong na ora tada compensation. Lo tada wa sa manamasi itaw to. Lo pa mo na ipafay just give us just the bare minimum ni pagin provide service. Hami man masak finunui. Todo klase sa finu. Hami. Oh, agora bem, frustrate so that zi. Usa tagi na sinyaw sa parabay. Tagin lang siya na mapang palabra no. Kasunod sa tetota at the same time ne. Ti fair na patasiga kung may sinimpleo. Pareho si director ng WOC, wasarong kimpleo. Kada sumi esti, beo na bifa man hospit, beo na bituli tef lang higima. Lo hafa na ino na klasi. Na para hami no pag. Kada ba ang inosenta or 80 hours man mapapas kululot niya sa kanan man nakike 64. Hafa mas, no, malago niya. To the point, mo, mampus ani mo sumatsotso. 3 años. Ani matoto do, tada do no descansa, tada do ni atrasado. Pau weekend to the point está taiga na no fino niya. No, lo umasisya itaw to. Wanedzi kumakati taw to. Sani para ni kano niya wa. Haza. Stiga si director testigo. Wani hazi yuzo. Malagos $20, malagos $20. Inna easy masa para fanat niya. Para un día, 2 días está que ma prueba food stamp niya. Iglesia, inili, y cada día. E no han sido más, no go, y tibula na. Lo, por favor, no, inexili. Manu ni cosa que isipishu kumai para itauto. Jesus mas.
Thank you, Ms. Borja, for that. Any further from the members? Being there's none, Director, we do know the 2 additional employees you requested. We will verify the status of this. Is this 76,000 under the mayor's office or just strictly under your department? The utilities that's pending.
Esports.
Oh, esports?
Yes.
Okay.
Está ahí pumalo in bring up current papataizi. Actually, we're looking at saving maybe 50-some thousand sa o contest. And I just cannot keep waiting on CUC also to finalize the puma privacy na discrepancy sa un mes na 50-some thousand ko distingay ande na para 50-some thousand gimes and no tagino na dakulo bili. So esta matutogi adjustment. No, hopefully at least at this point so bring up the current and then we're gonna go from there kung umafon tabi yung be siguro am do na yung talo tabi kantidad niya sa gitna sa gagay giso.
Thank you. The vehicle under ARPA in
Under-
like
Gaigi on the ARPA, gaigi sa lapit niya, sa mapiga na expended lo, di mapapasi and start mamamalaw doon kini vendor sa
and the vehicles in Saipan.
ay gaigi gimitin niya. Edja karitan mo migi sports.
Thank you for that. Any further members? With that, thank you again, RD Bonnie Bora, and I'll give it back to you for your closing remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members for hearing us today.
Thank you again. Thank you, everyone. I'll now recess to tomorrow, 10 a.m. for the remaining three departments, which is DPW, Public Safety, and Defense. And with that, if there's no objection, I will now recess tomorrow, 10 a.m.